Hello, CEOs. Welcome to Season 3 of Coffee with Bridgett. This season, I think, is going to be my best so far. I'm delighted about all of the guests that I have coming on. And most important, I am so delighted that you continue to watch. So today, my guest today is Abby Cabrera. Hi, Abby.
Hi, how are you?
Good. And I asked Abby to come on as a guest today because, here we cover a lot of different things. We cover fashion, we cover fun, we cover empowerment, we answer questions, we do a lot of different things. But Abby has an amazing story that I know that can help somebody else. And most importantly, I wanted you all to be able to hear how the things that Abby does not only impacts the community, but she makes an impact just in conversation and the people that she meets. So Abby, one of the things I want to get right into, which I thought was so fascinating about you, is that I know that your parents were immigrants.
Yes. Yeah.
And to me, that was just like, I was like, yes, I'm ready to hear more,
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about how you got to Philly and, your just a little bit about your backstory so I can, share with the CEOs.
Right.
Here.
Well, hello, everybody. Like Bridgett said, my name is Abby, and my parents immigrated to the United States in 1985 from the Philippines, and I was born in San Francisco. So I'm considered a first-generation immigrant. 2 years later, I have a brother that was born. So the two of us kind of had to navigate growing up in the San Francisco Bay Area with newly immigrated parents. And, as I was growing up, I learned a lot about the sacrifice that they made, and also a lot of some of the challenges that they faced in raising their kids, wanting us to still remain within our culture, but also assimilate in the United States. And, years later, as I became an adult, wanting to further my education, I found myself in Philadelphia, and it's definitely become a second home. I love it here. So I feel like I take a little bit of my West Coast side, and I've been learning about the East.
Your West Coast and your East Coast, and you married it together. So
married it, exactly.
Abby, so I'm listening at you, and given our political climate, how does what you hear from the White House impact you, or does it impact you?
It actually impacts me because I remember a lot of the struggles that we faced in my family, especially with my parents, becoming immigrants. And so when I hear things that are negative or sometimes misinformed, it does, bring back some painful memories. But what I like to do is kind of turn it around and share my experiences and just try my best to educate others, and also spend some time with those who are currently immigrating, share my story and try to help out the best way I can. So a lot of times that means partnering with some of these organizations, volunteering, or just working with somebody one-on-one and trying to hear their story, and also just as best as I can educate other people.
Well, you're definitely a success story. I think you have a master's in public health.
I do.
Yes, so you are like one of the it girls, what I consider.
I appreciate
and
that.
I say the it girl because you have taken your life and you have literally become the CEO of your life. And that's why I call my community CEOs, because you are in charge of you. Yeah. You are the person who can write your own story. You can change your narrative. You can change your impact. So with the education piece that you mentioned, I know that you have masters in public health, like I just mentioned. So explain to my CEOs exactly, what you do with that masters in public health.
So with the masters in public health, or MPH, I do a lot of community building, community health initiatives, and overall what I aim to do is try to, increase the health of the community, but also decrease some of the disparities that exist, and work on increasing health equity. And especially in Philadelphia, we usually hear, where you live in your zip code, that can determine the amount of years you live. And a zip code might be maybe only a mile away, but you might live 20 more years. And the it's not right.
Right.
You have to do something.
And so, something inside of me just was like, oh, when you said that. Because when the very first time I read an article, and when I was taking a class about health equity.
Yes.
And talking about health disparities, and really just getting an understanding that where you live determines how long you will live. And for me, it was crazy. And, to even drill down to the next level, it's all about what kind of resources are provided for you. I did some work with, I got a chance to go tour Congresso. Congresso in North Philly. And just really looking at what they're doing, with the kids, and really, providing them with, different educational resources, and really seeing how people want this help.
Yes.
People want health resources. They want health education. And I feel like it is our reasonable duty. It's our responsibility to be able to share that there are resources for you. And so going back, your zip code determining, how long you live. That's crazy.
It is crazy. And I think, one of the best things that you just said, that you went up to Congresso in North Philly. And in my experience in working in public health, one of the best things that, you can do as an individual if you really want to help the community is go into the community.
Yes.
Don't try to help the community remotely.
Yes.
Go into the community, talk to the community members,
Stop right here for 1 second. That's a good point, CEO. I couldn't let that go by.
Okay.
If you want to help the community, you have to go into the community. I'm sorry, I couldn't let that moment pass by.
It's one of the pivotal moments when I was getting my degree in the Masters of Public Health, and it stays with me to this day. I was working on my thesis, which is the capstone, and I was interviewing a block member, and she said, one of the things that we cannot do, especially coming from a university academic side, don't come into the community and just take from us. You need to give back. Wow. And that stayed with me, because in the moment I was thinking that I want to help. I want to be here. I want to, use my skills, my education, talents, and what have you to help the community. But like I said, you can't do it remotely, and you can't just take from whatever they gave you and just, try to solve problems. You have to remember to always give back. And part of giving back is being present, building the trust with the community. And so from that moment, and what's led me to where I am and where I continue to want to go with my career, is always making sure I give back. And I'm not just taking from.
Wow, that's good. Give back and don't take from. We've learned two valuable resources here, 2 valuable points, 2 transferable skills that we can all use and that we can all actually work in. So now, Abby, we've heard about your education, a little bit about your background.
Yeah.
So tell us a fun fact about Abby.
A fun fact about me. Okay, so I am 5'1", and in high school I ran track and field, but I decided I wanted to try something different instead of running. So I went for the high jump, and my sophomore year I came in first place and jumped 4'6" over the bar.
Wow!
No matter what your height or no matter what you think you might be able to, you can go for it. Jump high, aim high, and to this day, I say I might be short, but I'm mighty.
I might be short, but I'm mighty. So one of my favorite sayings is that I believe that I can give you a hard hit in a velvet glove. Ooh. Wrapped up real pretty. But when it comes to business, I can definitely give you a hard hit. So Abby, thank you for being a guest here on
Thank
Coffee
you for
with
having
Bridgett.
me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So CEOs, I hope that today you learned some valuable things today. We have given you some good resources that we all can use and go out and make an impact in our community. We grow better when we're together. So Abby, at the end of each episode, what we do here is that we cheers, until we connect with our CEOs again. So to the next episode of Coffee with Bridgett, go out in your community, do something good. Don't just take, give back. All right, cheers.
Cheers.